accessible to all. And as an attorney facing Marin judges over the years, what?
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Mike COFFINO, and I grew up in Mill Valley in the 1970s and 80s, and I currently serve as a deputy public defender for the county of Marin. The way I got to that position is that in 2001, I was working for a corporate law firm in Oakland representing big software companies and commercial disputes. And I left that corporate job to go to one of the poorest counties in California, Lake County, to work there as a public defender. And in doing that career shift, I really found my calling as a lawyer. And as a public defender, I represent all kinds of people, military veterans, people with mental illnesses, immigrants, and just ordinary folks who are down on their luck and charged with a crime, including women and issues relating to women that are specific to them as women. I've represented veterans who had been sexually assaulted in the military and who ended up in jail, charged with a crime, and I've tried to get them veterans diversion, which is something that our legislature came up with to help veterans who had suffered trauma in the military. I've represented women who are in jail and who are pregnant, and I've had to sensitively address their health status with the judge and trying to get them out of custody so they could get appropriate medical care. I spent my career in the courtroom. I've handled thousands and thousands of contested hearings, over 50 jury trials, and thousands of clients in court. And I think that the most important qualification for a judge, based on my experience and the experiences of other lawyers who appear every day in front of a wide variety of judges, is that you want our next judge to have extensive courtroom and trial experience. Without that, the judge is going to be at a significant disadvantage in doing even the mundane things like managing a court calendar, which can seem trivial, but are in fact one of the most important things to lawyers and litigants to have their cases moved along efficiently. You want a judge who has the experience making authoritative rulings on points of law and evidence. We don't have any judges who have spent their careers and devoted their careers, as I have, to representing indigent people, to standing next to somebody who is facing the possibility of going to jail or prison. And we're the only county in the Bay Area that lacks a judge with that experience. So what I would hope to bring to the bench is the perspective of having represented folks who are traditionally disadvantaged in our society and don't have the same standing in front of the court as a rich and powerful person might. When I first got to Marin after having worked in Lake County, I was really astounded by the wasteful number of appearances that were required in the misdemeanor court in order to resolve somebody's fairly minor case, and people were inconvenienced by having to come back to court even a dozen times when they were ready to resolve their case right at the start. And that had a lot to do with the DA's office and the public defender not having good communication, but judges, I think, have an important role to play in promoting consistency by letting the parties know where the case is going to get resolved, or what the outcome is going to be if they choose to litigate it, which gives people some kind of advanced knowledge of what they can expect to happen and a reason to resolve their case before they go to trial. During the campaign, I've met people that say to me, "You seem great, but I don't care, I'm voting for a woman." And I respect that position, I understand that position, and frankly, it's true. We do need more women on the bench. I also think, though, that it's important to consider, in addition to that, the qualifications that the candidate brings in terms of his or her actual experience representing actual people in front of a judge or a jury. And secondly, what our bench is completely lacking in this county, which is any lawyer who ever devoted his or her career to what I've chosen to do, which is defend people's constitutional rights, ensure that only guilty people are convicted of crimes, and make sure that the underrepresented and disadvantaged in our society are given a voice in the courtroom, and that perspective has a place as well on our bench, along with the perspectives of the other judges and their background.